Welcome to pure nostalgia heaven. Nearly 3 decades have sailed by since Titanic first graced our screens in December 1997. And yet, the breathtaking performances, the sweeping romance, the tears, the goosebumps, and yes, even the moments that made us laugh and gasp and grip our popcorn tighter, they are completely, utterly timeless. This wasn't just a movie, this was an event. A cultural earthquake that made us fall in love with love itself. Argue about whether Jack could have fit on that door. He could. Rose, he absolutely could. And hum My Heart Will Go On for the next 30 years straight. Today, let's celebrate this legendary cast, share some amazing behind-the-scenes secrets, and see their beautiful updates in 2026. Hasson Leonardo DiCaprio as Jack Dawson. Pronunciation: Leonardo DiCaprio. Bringing absolute joy at number 1 is the man who made every single person on Earth want to stand on the bow of a ship with their arms wide open. The one, the only, Leonardo DiCaprio. Leo was just 22 years old when he stepped into Jack Dawson's worn-out boots and completely stole every heart on the planet. In 2026, this incredible talent is 51 years old, and honestly, still absolutely magnetic, still commanding every frame he's in, still that guy. The smile anchor, Jack Dawson wasn't just charming, he was joyfully alive. That third-class party scene where he's spinning Rose around on the dance floor, laughing with his whole soul, that was Leo giving us pure, unfiltered life. And of course, I'm the king of the world. 4 words that became the heartbeat of a generation. Wholesome update. Leonardo DiCaprio has become one of Hollywood's most decorated and respected actors, with an Academy Award for The Revenant finally in his hands. But beyond the Oscars, he has devoted enormous energy to environmental advocacy, using his platform and his Leonardo DiCaprio Foundation to fight passionately for our planet. Jack Dawson believed in living fully and freely, and Leo is honoring that spirit by fighting for the world future generations will inherit. Truly beautiful. #2 Kate Winslet as Rose DeWitt Bukater. At number 2, the woman who showed us that a heart much like the ocean can hold infinite depth and strength. The breathtaking Kate Winslet. Kate was 21 years old, 21, when she delivered one of the most powerful, emotionally layered performances in cinema history. In 2026, she is a radiant 50 years old, and she is absolutely glowing, thriving in every sense of the word. The smile anchor. Rose DeWitt Bukater didn't just survive, she lived, fully, boldly, on her own terms. And the moment young Rose leans over that ship railing and shouts, "I'm flying, Jack," with pure joy on her face and the wind in her hair, that image is permanently tattooed on our hearts. Wholesome update. Kate went on to win the Academy Award for The Reader 2008, cementing her status as one of the greatest actresses of her generation. She has spoken openly and beautifully about body positivity and self-acceptance, becoming a genuine role model for authenticity. Off-screen, she found her own happily ever after. She married Edward Abel Smith in 2012 and describes her personal life as her greatest joy. From Rose's first breath of freedom to Kate's beautiful real life, what a journey. #3 Billy Zane as Caledon Cal Hockley. At number 3, the man we all love to absolutely despise on screen, which, honestly, is the greatest compliment you can pay a villain, the incredibly talented Billy Zane. Billy was 31 years old during filming, playing the insufferably arrogant Cal Hockley with such magnificent swagger that audiences were genuinely furious at him. That's great acting, friends. In 2026, he is a cool 60 years old and looking sharp as ever. The smile anchor. Cal Hockley thought he could own everything, including Rose. And yet it was he who ended up alone on a lifeboat, covered in a child's tears, clutching a jewel he'd never truly possess. The moment Rose spits in his face, cathartic. Standing ovation every single time. Wholesome update. Here's the beautiful twist: Billy Zane in real life is nothing like Cal. He's a genuinely warm, creative soul who is also a passionate visual artist, with his paintings exhibited internationally. He's continued acting in a wide range of roles, proving his range goes far beyond a mustache-twirling antagonist. He paints, he acts, he creates. The man is a Renaissance spirit. We love that for him. #4 Kathy Bates as Molly Brown. At number 4, the human embodiment of warmth, grit, and a magnificent laugh, the legendary Kathy Bates. Kathy was 48 years old when she brought the real-life, unsinkable Molly Brown roaring to life on screen. In 2026, she is a magnificent 77 years old, and she remains as powerful, as vibrant, and as utterly wonderful as ever. The Smile Anchor. Molly Brown was the soul of the Titanic ensemble, the woman who demanded the lifeboat go back, who wrapped her fur around a shivering survivor, who refused to let wealth define her humanity. Every single scene Kathy Bates graced was immediately 10 times warmer and 10 times better. Wholesome update. Kathy Bates has had a career that is nothing short of extraordinary, from her Oscar win for Misery to Emmy-winning work on American Horror Story. She has also shown immense personal courage, speaking publicly about her battles with cancer and recovery, inspiring millions with her strength and humor. A true unsinkable woman in her own right, Molly Brown would be so proud. #5 Frances Fisher as Ruth DeWitt Bukater. At number 5, the woman who made us want to argue back at the screen in the best possible way, the brilliantly talented Frances Fisher. Frances was 44 years old during production, playing Rose's iron-willed, socially obsessed mother Ruth, with such perfectly calibrated iciness that she practically radiated disapproval through the screen. A masterclass in restraint. In 2026, she is 73 years old and absolutely thriving. The Smile Anchor. Ruth DeWitt Bukater's withering glances and perfectly timed sighs of exasperation were, honestly, comedic gold in the most dramatic package possible. Every scene where she silently surveyed the chaos unfolding around her first-class world, chef's kiss. Wholesome update. Frances Fisher has remained a consistently wonderful presence in film and television, from Unforgiven to The Lincoln Lawyer, bringing that same quiet authority to every role. She is also an outspoken advocate for social and political causes she believes in, living her convictions loudly and proudly. A woman of substance, on screen and off. #6 Gloria Stewart as Old Rose. At number 6, a true legend, a golden age Hollywood icon who came back to cinema and absolutely dazzled the world, the incomparable Gloria Stewart. Gloria was a remarkable 87 years old when she played the elderly Rose Dawson Calvert, and she received an Academy Award nomination for the role, becoming the oldest person ever nominated for an acting Oscar at the time. Absolutely extraordinary. The Smile Anchor. Old Rose's quiet wisdom, her laughter, the way she described the Titanic as the ship of dreams, with that faraway look in her eyes. Gloria Stewart didn't just act that scene. She lived it, with the full weight and grace of a life beautifully experienced. Gloria Stewart passed away on the 26th of September 2010 at the breathtaking age of 100 years old. She left us having lived a full, magnificent century, from silent films to digital Hollywood, from the golden age to the internet age. Though she is no longer with us, the warmth, the elegance, and the timeless grace she brought to every frame will live on forever. What a life. What a legacy. Number #7 Bill Paxton as Brock Lovett. At number 7, the man whose sheer enthusiasm and adventure-seeking energy made us want to be on that deep-sea treasure hunt, the wonderful Bill Paxton. Bill was 41 years old during filming, bringing an infectious, almost childlike excitement to treasure hunter Brock Lovett, the man who searched for diamonds and found something far more valuable, a story. The Smile Anchor. Brock Lovett's jaw-dropping moment of stunned silence when Old Rose picks up a phone and casually announces she was on the Titanic. Bill Paxton's face was a masterpiece of pure, unadulterated shock. We've all been that face. Bill Paxton passed away on the 25th of February 2017 at the age of 61 after complications from surgery. The world lost a genuinely joyful, generous, endlessly talented performer, someone who brought warmth and humor and big-hearted energy to every role, from Aliens to Twister to Big Love. Though he is no longer with us, the endless smiles and the sheer infectious enthusiasm he gave us will live on forever. Victor Garber as Thomas Andrews. At number 8, the man who gave us one of the most quietly heartbreaking moments in the entire film, the brilliant, beloved Victor Garber. Victor was 48 years old when he portrayed Thomas Andrews, the Titanic's architect, the man who built the ship, and with devastating humility, accepted its fate. In 2026, he is a distinguished 76 years old, still wonderfully active and cherished. The Smile Anchor. The scene where Andrews stands alone in the first-class smoking room staring at the painting of Plymouth Harbor. The clock ticking his quiet dignity in that moment is simply unforgettable. No words needed, just Victor Garber, making us feel everything. Wholesome update. Victor Garber has had a long, rich, and celebrated career from Broadway to Alias to The Flash, earning the deep respect of both peers and fans. He married his longtime partner, artist Rainer Andreessen, in 2015, and has spoken beautifully about love and authenticity. A man of genuine grace, inside and out. #9 Bernard Hill is Captain Edward Smith. At number 9, the man whose commanding presence made you feel the full weight of the ocean, the magnificent Bernard Hill. Bernard was 46 years old when he took the helm as Captain Edward J. Smith, delivering a performance of quiet authority and profound dignity. He was already beloved for Boys from the Black Stuff and would go on to immortalize King Theoden in The Lord of the Rings, a man who understood epic storytelling in his bones. The Smile Anchor, Captain Smith's final moments on the bridge standing resolute, the water rising. His expression, one of absolute peace. Bernard Hill made us feel the solemnity of that real historical moment without a single word of melodrama. Pure, powerful craft. Bernard Hill passed away on the 5th of May, 2024, at the age of 79. The world mourned a deeply respected, profoundly gifted actor who gave us two of cinema's most iconic commanding figures, Captain Smith and King Theoden of Rohan. Though he is no longer with us, the strength, the dignity, and the quiet fire he brought to every performance will live on forever. Has Han Zero, David Warner as Spicer Lovejoy. At number 10, the man whose cool, menacing calm made every scene he entered feel 10 degrees colder, the tremendous David Warner. David was 53 years old during filming, playing Cal's sinister manservant Spicer Lovejoy with a reptilian stillness that was genuinely unsettling in the most magnificent theatrical way possible. The Smile Anchor, Lovejoy pursuing Jack and Rose through the flooding corridors of the ship, utterly relentless. David Warner made that sequence genuinely terrifying with nothing but his eyes and his posture. A villain's villain. David Warner passed away on the 24th of July, 2022, at the age of 80 after a brief illness. He was an actor of extraordinary range and intelligence, from Shakespearean stages to Time Bandits, from Star Trek to Titanic, a titan of British acting who graced every project with effortless depth and craft. Though he is no longer with us, the incredible legacy of characters he gifted the world will live on forever. Has Hanawin Jonathan Hyde as J. Bruce Ismay. At number 11, the man who made audiences hiss at a fictional character so convincingly that it genuinely enhanced our knowledge of real history, the wonderfully skilled Jonathan Hyde. Jonathan was 46 years old when he portrayed J. Bruce Ismay, the White Star Line chairman whose real-life decision to board a lifeboat became one of the great controversies of the Titanic disaster. Jonathan played his slippery self-preservation with such squirming, uncomfortable precision, absolutely riveting. The Smile Anchor, the look on Ismay's face as the Titanic slips beneath the waves, guilt, relief, and shame all flickering across his expression in a single second. Jonathan Hyde packed an entire character's moral reckoning into one wordless moment. Brilliant. Wholesome update. Jonathan Hyde has continued a rich and varied career across stage, film, and television, including memorable work in Jumanji and The Mummy. A quietly versatile talent who consistently elevates everything he touches. Hassan 2 Danny Nucci as Fabrizio. At number 12, the one who brought pure, sunny, warmth, and best friend energy to the adventure, the charming Danny Nucci. Danny was 28 years old when he played Fabrizio, Jack's loyal, quick-laughing Italian best friend, and honestly, every scene with him and Leo felt like watching two guys genuinely having the time of their lives together. That joy was absolutely real, and it jumped right through the screen. The Smile Anchor, Fabrizio's gleeful sprint across the deck when they first see the Titanic. The pure, uncomplicated joy of a young man standing before something magnificent. Danny Nucci gave that moment such beautiful, simple authenticity. Wholesome update. Danny Nucci has built a steady, solid career in film and television over the decades, including a long run on The Fosters, bringing that same warm, grounded energy to every role. He's a working actor in the truest and most honorable sense of the word. Hassan 3 Susie Amos as Lizzie Calvert. And saving the most beautifully full-circle moment for last at number 13, the woman who, in many ways, represents the Titanic story's most hopeful message, that love endures across generations, the lovely Susie Amos. Susie was 35 years old when she played Lizzie Calvert, Rose's devoted granddaughter, the one who accompanies old Rose on her journey back to the sea, and who tearfully witnesses the incredible story her grandmother has carried alone for 84 years. The smile anchor, Lizzie's face as she watches her grandmother return the heart of the ocean to the sea, the mix of wonder, grief, love, and peace in that moment. Susie Amos held that scene with such quiet, generous grace. Wholesome update, and here is where the story becomes genuinely magical on the set of Titanic. Susie Amos met director James Cameron, and the two fell in love. They married in 2000 and have built a beautiful life together, raising children and co-founding the environmental organization Muse School in California, a sustainability-focused educational community. Susie largely stepped away from acting to pour her energy into education, the environment, and family. She found her own love story on the most famous love story set in history. If that isn't the most perfect, heartwarming behind-the-scenes fact in all of cinema, we don't know what is. And there they are, 13 incredible souls who poured their hearts into one of the greatest films ever made and gave us a story that has echoed through our lives for nearly 30 years. Some are still dazzling us on screen. Some found beautiful new chapters off-screen. And some, though they are no longer with us, left behind performances so luminous, so full of life, that every time we press play, they are with us again, perfectly preserved in light and sound and story. That is the magic of cinema. That is the gift this cast gave the world. All right, true fans, it's confession time. Question 1. Which character from this incredible Titanic cast made the biggest impression on your heart, whether they made you laugh, cheer, or ugly cry into your popcorn? Drop your favorite moments in the comments, we need to know. Question 2. The big debate. We all know the moment, the iconic, the legendary, the forever debated. Option A, I'm the king of the world. Jack Dawson, arms wide, heart open, living his absolute best life on the bow. B, it's been 84 years, old Rose, with the world-weary exhale of someone who has truly seen things. Which line lives rent-free in your head? Comment A or B. Thank you so much for sharing your smiles, your memories, and your hearts with us today. This cast deserved every standing ovation, and so do you, for keeping their legacy alive with your love. Subscribe for more comforting, feel-good trips down memory lane, because the best stories, they never really end. They just wait for us to come back to them. I'll never let go, Jack, and we never let go of this cast either.